The Week 3 contest bomb edition of the Bottom Line Bombs on Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code BOMBS to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Now let's start the show with a song that starts off my thing. That is the thing. I said thing. Can I say it one more time? Not this time. Welcome to the Bottom Line Bobs. I am your host, CJ Sullivan, the back detective, the laddie daddy, scumbagger Vance, the man in the box. I am coming to you live Thursday, September 19th, 12:30 from Eagle Rock, California. I'm pretty sure I'm recording. I can never tell. That's what happens when you're in the box. I can never tell if I'm actually recording. I usually see a line moving around, but I don't know. If not, then we'll just use We'll just use another. We'll use the backup. We're going live. We'll use the backup. I think we're doing it. Who knows? I also not only am I here by myself, but I think everyone I know texts me at the time when I go live. No one else texts me any other time in the world, during the day, during the night, nothing. I get no contact whatsoever. But then all of a sudden, everybody, as soon as I'm going live, they want to text me the most nonsense questions or memes or what they find funny. No, oh yeah, I'm kind of doing a show right now. Oh, when do you do that? Right now, I'm doing it. So stop, please. Okay, well, don't let me stop you. You are right now by continuing this conversation. Enough. Sorry. I didn't know you did. Yeah, it's what I do. It's on my bio. It doesn't change. Well, it does change the time, but it's usually Monday live, Thursday, 12:30. But Thursday's a big day because we got the C block. Of course, I did my Bottom Line Bomb show here. We got a big show today. We're doing the NFL Weekend Circa Million Contest, Survivor, Road to 10 million, and Pick 5 for Week 3. We got Thursday Night Football today. We got a Man in the Box segment. We got so much to talk about. Let me get into it. Besides everyone texting me, good God, I hope this is going good. It's going good. I'm going to say it's going good. Things haven't been good this season so far. What a bloodbath it's been. We already broke down the gambling thing, how the books are cleaning up. Thank God for the books. Oh, man, the books are doing great. The books need this or the books will shut down. The books need New England tonight or they need the Jets or who knows what they need. We'll talk Thursday Night Football, but real quick, let me tell you, let's still recap real quick. There was a Monday Night Football. We lost the Eagles -5.5. Who could have saw that coming? Besides everyone. They only had a 98.9 win percentage. But like I say, I never trust those win percentage things because they don't factor in if I'm on that side or not. If I'm a fan of the team, if I have money on it. Then those scientists be like, well, I mean, there's nothing really Atlanta could do, but the one shine I hope they do have, the CJ Sullivan, the bet detective, picked the Eagles. So I'd say it's about 50-50 at this point. Which it became as soon as they kicked the field goal to make it 6 points, gave them the ball in 30. I mean, it was so inevitable once Saquon Barkley dropped that ball that the Falcons were going to go down and score. And for Sirianni to keep defending it, it's just, listen, I've always been on the wrong side of hate. I'm an Eagles fan. I hated Sirianni, even though he is the all-time Eagles winnings coach. I don't care. I don't like him. I don't like his tight eyes, his little weasel eyes, his little brat attitude. Brat summer's over with. Let's get him out of there. Anyway, it was just an insane, ridiculous, classic Philly game. And I do feel bad. Listen, even as an Eagle fan, I do feel bad for the rest of the country, and I know how insufferable Philly fans are, and it's the Philly team. So they must have been happy that they lost. And I was outside at a bar in Burbank, and people were very excited when Philly lost. Kind of rude about it, if you ask me. And this kind of rude. Us Philly fans don't appreciate bad manners out and about. And there were some people I don't even think like the Falcons. I just think they didn't like us. Can you believe such a thing? Bijan couldn't even get over attempts either. He ripped through every yard, but he couldn't get over the attempts. I couldn't believe we lost that prop. Anyway, I don't even mind Sirianni throwing the ball there to Saquon. Saquon's got to catch it, obviously. I don't mind the play. Although, obviously, you run the ball twice. I don't care if they junk it up in the middle. Do the fucking brotherly shove twice. Do the tush push. Who gives a shit? Do it twice. You have them down inside the 5 either way. But once you miss it, then you got to go for it on 4th down. You can't kick a field goal. You cannot give them a minute 40 to go with only a 6-point lead. You can't do it. They did it. Classic Eagle game. Anyway, I don't want to get into it because I just did. And I avoided ESPN. And that's why I apologize to all the non-Eagle fans out there. Then not only do they have to watch that Philly Brigade on ESPN, but then so much goddamn Kelsey. And I've been on the right side of hate with him too. Kelsey and the Mummers Parade. Oh my God. And you got fucking, whatchamacallit, Adam Schefter in the Mummers Parade and Kelsey. Oh, there's Kelsey and doing a skit with Big Dom. There's Kelsey on Jeopardy. Can you believe it? Yeah, we believe it. He's everywhere. Get this fucking center off TV. Anyway. That's ESPN for you. Then they apologize. I'm going to get into ESPN when we get to when I get to the man in the box at the end of the show. But right now, the war against corporate gambling is heating up, and SGPN needs you to do your part. If you can take a couple seconds to rate and review the Bottom Line Bombs, that'd be helpful. Most importantly, tell a friend. Tell 50,000 of them. Word of your mouth is the heartbeat of SGPN. All right. I got so much to talk about. I can't. I just can't. Let's do it. I can't talk about the Eagles. I avoided ESPN all week. I don't need to see. I hate ESPN anyway. Tom Brady once said, and he was right, ESPN ruined sports the way MTV ruined music. And like I said, I'll get to them at the end of the man in the box segment. But I mean, like, good Lord, they don't need to be 24 hours. I'm just saying that. Ronnie Pasco, welcome to the chat. He says the Eagles did what Washington State Cougars usually do. They couged it. They did coug it up. But Washington State they did not coug it up last week in the Apple Cup, the Week 3 Apple Cup. Congratulations to your Cougars. I thought Washington was a little better of a team, but that's a great rivalry. Good win. Good win for Washington State. Glad to see him. Always glad to see Wazoo do good. All right, let's talk about this Thursday night football game real quick, and then we'll get into the Circa Millions and the road to 10 million, and then the Survivor, of course, and then the man in the box. Tonight is Jets-Patriots. I always hate the Jets-Patriots game. It's never been a fun rivalry for me. I hate it. It's so fucking dull. The uniforms are dull. The rivalry is dull. Even from Parcells to Belichick, I've never got excited for it. Rex Ryan, Sanchez beating. I don't care about it. I hate it. It's never good football. I think the Patriots have won like 14 of the last 15. Now tonight, the line is Jets -6. I think the total is 38. Let me take a look. Let me reconfirm that, CJ. It's 38.5 now. It's 638.5. Interesting game. Now, the Patriots are not the worst team in football history like we thought they were going to be, or everyone said they were going to be. They won at Cincinnati, crushed a lot of survivors. They played very well at home last week for Seattle, a team I'm very high on. Jacoby Brissett's an actual quarterback. People forgot that. He's an NFL quarterback. Ramondre Stevenson's been great. Their defense is solid. Now, they have no receivers. They only have Hunter Henry. They have a couple offensive linemen out tonight. This is the Jets' homecoming, I believe, right? That's what I heard that term today. They start off with 2 road games. At San Francisco, at Tennessee. So now it's going to be the Aaron Rodgers return, running out. Yeah, they got to let him run out the flag. Run out the flag, Rodgers. He can't move. That's the thing with Rodgers. He cannot move. But he can throw the ball. Not a lot of points will be scored tonight. Although I am on the side. I think the Jets will handle New England at home. I think this will be a statement game. This is the game they've been waiting for. This is going to be a very lit atmosphere. Oh, you're going to have firemen in. You're going to have 9/11. You know what's so weird about 9/11? Weird. You know what's weird about 9/11? It's weird when you go out in the world and you talk to people that are young. And I still do that. I have to sometimes from comedy shows, sometimes with my friends' younger girlfriends, because this is Los Angeles and that's the way of life out here. And they're born, I can't fuck with anyone that's born after 9/11. I even told my one buddy, like, listen, if your next girlfriend was born after 9/11, we can't continue talking. That just can't be a thing. Right now, they're on the cusp. But that generation anyway, the kids that are in their 20s and stuff, they look at 9/11 as a good joke, almost. Like, kind of like we look at D-Day. Like, make a Ben Affleck movie about it or something. Like, it's just a fucking joke in their lives, which is wild. Which I get, because they're young. They don't, they didn't live through the stories. Point is, the real tragedy is when Fireman Ed didn't die in 9/11. Come on, you can't say that. What the heck? You like that? No, I don't like. Come on, you can't just say it. I don't like super fans in general, but he's going to be on Prime tonight. That's for sure. So we're going to go with Jets -6 right off the bat. Bomb it. I think that's pretty good value. I think New England's been a surprise factor, but I also think part of it is a surprise factor. Element of surprise. Now you have a rookie coach with Gerard Mayo on a Thursday night game in a divisional game. That's usually a bad recipe. You kind of need the experience for that. Not that I like Robert Saleh. I don't think he's a good coach at all. I hope maybe Gerard Mayo will be a better coach. But this is his first Thursday night game in a division game. Who knows your opponent? Give me the Jets tonight -6. As far as props want to go, there's a couple props I like in this game. Like I said, Ramondre Stevenson is their offense. Hunter Henry is their passing offense. Ramondre Stevenson. I'm going to go back to the well of the rushing attempts like I did with Bijan, even though that burnt me in the ass. All I had to do was do yards. His yards are kind of short, but Ramondre Stevenson is built for the attempt prop. They're not afraid to give him the ball 20 times and he'll get 60 yards. So I can easily see him going over the attempts and under the 66.5 yards. I think he goes over the yards as well because the Jets' rush defense, their defense in general just hasn't been the elite defense that we've been told it was. They're 9th in rushing allowed EPA or whatever that is, the advanced stats. And while there's 2 offensive linemen out for New England tonight, which is going to be which would help that weak Jets pass rush so far, is Hassan Reddick now just tweeting out about God's plan and shit. God's plan to demand another trade. The Patriots they want to run the ball. They're 5th in the league in rushing percentage, like 57% or 58%, something like that. Ramondre Stevenson's rushing attempt prop is 16.5. He had 25 versus Cincinnati in the opener, 21 last week for Seattle in a back and forth affair. Now, unless they're down 2 or 3 touchdowns and they have to throw all game, I think Stevenson clears us, no problem. So it's bomb. Stevenson over 16.5 props. Ronnie Pasco says Pete Carroll approves. He's a 9/11 truther. Goddamn right. Where is Pete Carroll? Remember Pete Carroll when they brought in the new coach for Seattle? He just didn't want to go. Well, can I get a job in the office? Like, no, Pete. Give us your stapler. Give us your iPad. Go back to Hermosa. Another fun one. Let's go some anytime touchdowns. Now, I like that Braylon Allen. I already called him, if you recall our AFC's preview, I called him for Rookie of the Year, 100-1. I have he had 2 touchdowns last week. He's just too good to not play. Now, I know Breece Hall is their bell cow, but on a Thursday night game, you know, the game where the NFL doesn't give a shit about the bodies and conditions and health of the players, but let's just change the kickoff rules. Yeah, like they're ridiculous. 3 days rest, you can't bell cow someone unless you're New England with Stevenson. So I think Braylon Allen over 21.5 yards is a steal. And an anytime touchdown, 3-1, we'll bomb that. And another beautiful New England anytime touchdown is Hunter Henry. Let's go Hunter Henry. 4-1, bomb that. So there it is. Right? Allen over 21.5 yards, 3-1 touchdown. Hunter Henry 4-1 anytime touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson over 16.5 attempts, and we will take the Jets -6 for tonight's game. The UOS game. Remember that network had said that, like, because the Jets are on prime time like 10 times again this year. Like, what? Why are you doing this to us again? You did this last year. He goes, they owe us. They owe us for last year. What the? Oh God. That's how you learn from your mistakes. They saying they owe us because you put all their stake in a 48-year-old fucking 48-year-old most annoying player in the league who was just voted. He blew his Achilles. Okay. All right, they owe you. And they owe us. And now we're gonna owe. Anyway. All right. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy, and then we will, because I'm good at ad reads. I'm not going to lie. I make it my own. I'm solid with them. I am not good with the segues. They want you to do the segues like it's part of the show. That's not happening. When I mention a company's name, you know I'm reading an ad. But come on, I'm giving you quality, personalized ad reads. I read some of the thing, like Underdog Fantasy Pick'em's always adding to their awesome menu. Awesome menu. Who writes this shit? They now have first touchdown projections. There's a ton of way to win NFL, college football, MLB, MMA, and more. Their lobbies jam-packed with profit boosts and no sweat entries. You can now use specials and boosts on all flexed entries. I'm going to use Hunter Henry, first touchdown with Braylon Allen over 21.5 yards. Higher, I mean. Not over. I meant higher. Damn it. These lawyers are going to shock me every time. I need a shock therapy. I can't say over under. It's supposed to be higher. Anyway, point is, you sign up with promo code BOMBS to claim your special pick and first-time deposit. Offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code BOMBS. All right, we are back here on the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, the Laddie Daddy, the Bet Detective, the man in the box, CJ Sullivan, live from Eagle Rock. Let's get into it. All right, I'm already wasted so much time on the show. Now, all right, C-Generates, this is what you came here for. The weekend, week 3, NFL coming up. The contest bombs, the Circa Millions, and the road to 10 million with the Survivor. Not going to lie to you, folks. It's not been going well, C-Generates. Now, in my defense, it hasn't been going well for anyone in that contest. I mean, there's people, obviously, who are doing well. But the consensus picks went 0-5 last week. So did the man in the box. Although I gave out a winner here online, but I changed it to a loser when I submitted it. Week 1, we went 1-3-1. Week 2, we went 1-4. Actually, 0-5 if you want to look at the legit results. So that makes us 1-8-1 on the season after 2 weeks. Now, you might be saying to me, I want my money back. How can you call yourself a tout? How can you call yourself an expert? Explain yourself, you would say. To that, I respond.
I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide, and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I would rather you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to. I have neither the time nor the...
Oh, Jack, you're doing it again, baby. I love it. Anyway, point is, yeah, shut up. It's a bumpy road, all right? Now, do we stay the course? Do we change strategies? What do we do? Do we go for the booby prize? That's what we got to start thinking about. Now, the booby prize, the Circa Millions, is for the very worst picks. Last place, which is harder than you think. Now, 1-8-1 is pretty interesting. Of course, there's a lot of people that are 0-10. So I have a lot of people to leapfrog. We're at 2 more weeks. They break, there's prizes, there's quarterly prizes, and there's the year prize. So these are things we got to think about. Now, then you got to start thinking, okay, I want to get bad picks. I want to pick out losers. How do you do that intentionally? You don't. What am I? You can't pull a Costanza. You can't just start, do the opposite of what you're thinking. Maybe you can. The point is, I like when people say that. If you intentionally go for losers, then why won't you intentionally go for winners? If that was possible, then why don't you intentionally go for winners? Losing has to come naturally. You can't mess with the universe. That being said, I have some terrible teams I'm going to pick this week. So if the reverse prize happens, the reverse prize happens. If the booby prize happens, it happens. That's $25,000 check. How amazing would that be if I go to Vegas to get one of those giant bonus novelty checks for $25,000 for having the worst picks out the gate, weeks 1 through 4? That would be in my bio. That'd be fucking amazing. That'd be very on brand for the man in the box here. But I say we're having some bad teams, and we do have bad teams. I'm going with pretty much all 0-2 teams. Week 3 is when 0-2 teams really got to fight for their season and their lives. Going 0-2 is bad. There's all kinds of statistics to say about this. But going 0-3 is a death sentence. Even if they don't win, they usually have more of an effort than people expect. Obviously, I think there's a strong trend where they 0-2 versus a 1-1 team. They cover like 65% of the time, something crazy like that. Anyway. And that's how you have to look at the NFL. You have to look at what happened last week and forget it, and everything changes. So that's a strategy we're going to go with. Forget everything you know. Forget everything you've seen. And let's just Costanza it. Fuck it. Let's go back. All right, let's start it off with Indianapolis Colts versus the Chicago Bears. Now, these Bears have gotten me 2 weeks in a row. I faded them opening week with the Titans plus 3.5 or 4.5. That impossible win by the Bears. We didn't score an offensive touchdown, but they blocked a punt, pick 6, and scoop and score. That was a nightmare. Then we had the Texans last week, minus the 6.5. They're about to go up fucking 16 or 17, and they fumbled in the 5, and then they're roughing the passer, and the Bears backdoor cover. I don't know how these Bears keep covering and winning. They won one game. Now you have the Colts, who do not look as good as we thought they were going to be, but they're 0-2. They're coming home. The line is 1.5. They just played the Texans at home. They opened up the Texans at home. They lost by 2. They have big plays. Now, they did not stop the run well. The Bears will be able to move the ball much better than they have versus anybody, because Titans defense and the Texans defense is a lot better than the Colts defense. But this is an AFC South gauntlet they're coming through. But Caleb Williams does not look good. Now, I don't think he's a bust. People are already calling him a bust because of Bryce Young. I mean, which is crazy. He's played 2 games. The number 1 pick. He's fine. He'll be fine. Now, right now, the line's not good. Receivers, I mean, he's not seeing things. He might not be ready. The problem is C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud ruined it for all these quarterbacks. Rookie quarterbacks aren't supposed to dominate. C.J. Stroud did last year. I love how, and C.J. Stroud is loving it. I love how he's just doing. He's just like last week when they played each other, and he like talked to Caleb Williams. It looked like he was like giving advice. Hey, hang in there, bro. You know, you got a lot of future ahead of you. Fuck you, Stroud. What are you, 19 years old? Telling me this? If I was Caleb. So it looked like he was mentoring him, which is hilarious. And Stroud afterwards had to say, "No, I wasn't big bro. No, I was just telling him, hey man, not everyone could be me. Don't look at it like that. Listen, I mean, I did it because I'm great. I'm CJ Stroud. But you're good too. Don't worry about it, Caleb. I'm sure they must have saw something in you, right? Anyway, you got a great future. Look, you know how long it took me to get good my rookie year? It was at least, week 3, I think. Yeah, week 3 is when I started really becoming great. And then I was an MVP candidate from there on in. So, just turn it around this week or you're done. Or you'll never, ever be good in this league. No big deal. So Colts -1.5. Caleb Williams just isn't seeing it yet. I think he'll run a lot more. It's going to be back and forth. It's not going to be obviously blowout. Knowing the Bears and what they're doing to me, they'll lose the game by 1 and cover by the hook of Santos missed extra point or something, just to be the Bears about it. But we're going to go with the Colts -1.5 at home. I feel pretty good against this about a team that has not scored. They scored an offense touchdown last week, barely. But let's take the Colts bomb it. Next up, in the worst teams, these teams are going to get periodically worse and worse. It doesn't get. This is maybe the worst team in the league. If it wasn't Carolina, more on them later. New York Giants at Cleveland. The number is 6.5. Again, I'm using all the spreads that came out in the Circa contest. It was just released today. Are we taking the Giants? You're goddamn right we're taking the Giants. Why? Because they're awful. And I'm awful. We got to stick together as awfulness. No, it's another 0-2 team against a 1-1 team. Cleveland coming off a win in Jacksonville, which they had no business winning, but Jacksonville was just even worse. They were like 1 for 12 on third downs, 120 yards in penalties. Cleveland shouldn't be a favorite of 6.5. I know it's the Giants, but they shouldn't be favored over 6.5 on anybody. They're just not good. Yes, their defense, they say, is one of the best. The Giants have a solid defense too. They obviously outplayed Washington last week, but they had no kicker. We went over this. Hopefully they signed a kicker this week. Or have a backup plan. Not, hey, has anyone here played soccer or anyone have a metal foot like that guy? The guy who used to have the record for the Saints. Was that Dempsey? Tom Dempsey? Who had a mallet and he just did like gunpowder in his foot and he kicked like a 63-yard field goal. Cleveland's hilarious because, first of all, the Giants, I know they're bad. And Malik Neighbors, kind of like Saquon, had a monster game, but then he dropped that fourth down play because they didn't have a kicker. And then you see when Dable tried to go over and like, hey, cheer up, buddy. And he's like, get the fuck out of here. Dable's like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. You're right. You're the boss.
I bought them Giants, baby. Huh? You bet your ass.
You goddamn right. Ronnie Pasco says the Bears are my P. Diddy. Good joke. Good joke. Here's the thing with Cleveland, too. They won out with Deshaun Watson. They won out of his cause. They signed him guaranteed money when he had 26 sexual assaults. No problem. Then all of a sudden he was not good at football. They're like, good God, how do we get out of this? So they set him up with another sexual assault. This one wasn't a masseuse. The 27th, they're like, this is too much. Can we get out of this? They're like, no. The NFL's like, no. Fine. We'll have a 27th sexual assault. So now I think the Browns are going to pull something trickier. called the Dimes Clause. And that is, if you lose at home to Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, you're allowed to void a contract. All Cleveland Deshaun Watson is to be severed. The contract's over with if you lose to Danny Dimes. New York Giants plus 6.5 is the second bomb. Bomb it.
How about them Giants, baby? Huh? You bet your ass.
Uncle Kev, not a fan of the Giants this year. I do got to get him on more on the phone. All right. Let me do one more real quick. We gave out the Colts minus 1.5, Giants plus 6.5. We're going to take another one. It's just horrible that I can barely even stomach. So I'm just going to shoot this out before the ad break. And that is Denver, Tampa Bay, another 6.5. We're going to take this 6.5. Another 0-2 team fighting for their lives at Tampa Bay. Now, everyone loves Tampa Bay right now. They look great. Not saying they don't. But it's a perfect time to fade them. Coming off that win at Detroit, everyone's loving Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield does this every year where you think he's back and then all of a sudden he has a stinker. They're also hurt. Their secondary's absolutely lit up. Can Bo Nix make him hurt? Punish for it? Maybe not. I don't know. But say what you want about Sean Payton. He usually tries to get things figured out as it goes on, and I do say he might not be a good coach without Drew Brees. But this is a perfect fade Tampa Bay line. Now, Bo Nix looked back. I did like what Bo Nix said. Like, hey, what happened to that interception in the end zone? Oh, well, I dropped back the pass, and then I threw it, and then the other team caught it, and it was intercepted. Oh, all right. Thanks, Bo. So Tampa Bay's a weird team. So you got Baker. I'm just hoping on. Also, I know Bo Nix does not look great, but Pittsburgh's defense is pretty good. Obviously, they shut down Cousins, shut them down. I mean, they did okay versus that Seattle. I'm just saying to stay without 6.5, pretty good value. You'd think it would be more than a touchdown. Tampa Bay is really banged up. Let's just fade it. Let's just do it. 0-2 team. Don't think about it. Booby prize, here we come. All right. First, let me tell you before I add on the 4 and 5 and the road to 10 million survivor and the man in the box, I got to tell you about BetUS because that's what we're brought to you by, to bet with the best in the business. BetUS has been around for more than 30 years. Bet anywhere. BetUS is available in tons of locations, including internationally. BetUS just launched an all-new live betting experience. Easily deposit using cryptocurrency and get lightning fast payouts. One of the bets I like, well, Jets minus 6. Love it. Make sure you hammer that. Use our link to sign up and get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. And Rhythm. The Rhythm's gonna bet you. Rhythm's gonna bet you. Rhythm's gonna bet you. With props. SGPN's proud partner Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom and predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, and props. Rhythm AI had a great NFL Week 2, 22.5 ROI on NFL spread bets and a 44.3% ROI on NFL moneyline bets. Build your own model, copy one of the top-performing models of the leaderboard, or press build a model. For me, and Rhythm gives you predictions for every game, player, props, and have a myriad of stats. Tell you what, Rhythm likes Joe Burrow, and who doesn't? Over 1.5 passing touchdowns. How can you not like that? Anyway, claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And we're back here on the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, CJ Sullivan, the man in the box, laddie daddy scumbagger, Vance the Bet Detective, the man in the box. Lane Gretzky, welcome to the chat. He says, what's up, CJ? He also says he knows it's Thursday, but he can't help but want to ladder Thielen receiving yards over to Sunday. All right. I'm going to get to that Carolina game in a second here, Lane Gretzky. And I'm glad you did bring up the laddie daddy because it is Thursday. And that means not only do you get the bottom line bombs, C-generates, from the Bet Detective here, the laddie daddy, but you also get the prop show with Sean and Kramer, Ryan and Sean. After this, where I will give out ladders and props for the weekend. And then after that, part of the C block, I do the college experience bombs on the weekend bombs down under with Picks Dundee, some college dogs and bombs. That's a triple header of me. That's a lot of me. Do I have it in me? Well, got a Starbucks. That's fueling me right now. I'm flying high on that. Like I said, with Starbucks before, I drink it because I park in a lot. I feel bad, so I use it. Also, I don't know the difference between good coffee and bad coffee. I guess I know bad. People are telling me it's shit coffee. Yeah, I feel like it's like McDonald's. You know what you're getting it every time. How bad can it be? I don't know. All right, let's move on. We got a couple more bombs. I already gave out, Jets -6 tonight and all the props. Ramondre Stevenson, Braylon Allen, Hunter Henry, all these things. I gave out Colts -1.5, Giants +6.5, Denver +6.5. Now we got two more games for the Circa Million. Two more 0-2 teams. So far, all three are 0-2. They haven't won. That's what we're looking for. Desperation, because we're desperate. Our records are desperate. We need to save our season. Let's go with these winless dogs. Some are favorites, like this one, Tennessee Titans, -2 with the Green Bay Packers. What? The Titans are favored at home with Will Levis throwing the ball around like Magic Johnson, no-look passes? Yes, they are. Why? Because Green Bay's coming to town with Malik Willis at quarterback. Malik Willis, the former Titans quarterback, who they just traded to Green Bay like a week before the season started. So a lot of people want to say, oh, it's a Malik Willis revenge game. Yeah, good. Good. Yeah, the revenge is on Tennessee. Thanks for ruining our franchise for a couple years. Now, I like Malik Willis fine. He's not a great quarterback. Now, they say he's matured since his rookie year. He was famously terrible when he played for Tennessee. Like, he couldn't throw the ball forward. He's a great athlete. He can run. He can throw. He just doesn't seem to be able to do it during a football game, which is important because that's when it matters, when the game is playing. He won last week in Green Bay, shockingly. Now, they did run the ball 55 times. And they were up 10-0, so they were able to play that style of game. But Malik Willis did what he had to do, so shout out to him. They're not going to be able to run the ball 55 times versus Tennessee. Tennessee has a good rush defense. So Malik Willis is eventually going to have to throw the ball forward, which he's not great at doing. The forward pass. He would be an amazing 1930s quarterback. I'll give Malik Willis credit for this, too. They asked him, like, hey, you want to get back at your old team this week? Because there's something kind of extra special, like kind of revenge because they gave up on you? He's like, no, not at all. He's like, they paid me when I was there. It wasn't charity work. Their checks cleared. I got no problem with them. He's hilarious. Yeah, no, they drafted me. I couldn't believe that. You saw me play, right? Yeah, not only they took a chance on me, they believed in me. Whew, boy, were they wrong. And then they paid me and the check's cleared and still in my bank account. No, me and Tennessee are all good. If anything, I owe them. I might lose this on purpose. I certainly wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them believing in me and then giving up on me so soon. I can't believe Green Bay believed in me. Can you believe? I mean, you saw in my tape, right? I'm terrible. So I liked his attitude there. He didn't fall for that. Yeah, I'm going to teach them. What's he going to teach him? You were hurt. He was horrible. He is still young. I will give him that. Went to Liberty, which isn't a real school. Oh boy, what happened there? Did I just knock myself out? I did. Whoa, a little fade to black button. Sorry about that, degenerates. All right, let's move. That's a sign. When my screen was fade to black, that it's time to move on. Tennessee -2 at home. I love this game. Bomb it. Tennessee easily could be 2-0. They should have won that Bears game, and they should have beat the Jets. Well, not should have beat the Jets at home. They could have beat the Jets at home. They had another fucking punt blocked. How did they keep getting punts blocked? What is this? Tecmo Bowl? Could you block punts in Tecmo Bowl? I don't think you could. Madden, you could. I'm going to move the microphone away as I drink this iced coffee. Oh, there's your ladder. There's your Adam Thielen ladder. It's Layton Gretzky. But you're right. I think it's time to fire up that Adam Thielen ladder. Why? Because we come to our last game, Carolina at the Raiders. What are we doing? The line is 5. Raiders are favored, but of course, we all know they actually put a real quarterback in. Andy Dalton will be quarterbacking for Carolina. Bryce Young got benched. Now, yes, was Bryce Young the worst quarterback in the league? Easily. Not even close. But did he process it well? If you remember our Carolina team preview with C-Generate Ryan O'Flanagan, my Panther insider, he gave us a tip that Bryce Young was an elite processor. Elite processor. That's a good point. Welcome to the chat, Steve Eldridge. He said he freaked out when the screen went black as I was bad-mouthing Liberty University. I know, right? I have Falwell coming after me. And listen, God knows who the real enemy is. It's Liberty University. It's not the man in the box, all right? I was a good little altar boy growing up. Take a little wine from the tabernacle, from the back, from the commissary, whatever the hell you want to call it back there. I wasn't a good altar boy, but I would sneak, you sneak out, and there's nothing better than a funeral during class. You get out, get tipped a few bucks, and then you steal some wine, then you go back to gym or algebra. Anyway, yeah, I'm not afraid to talk shit about Liberty, that fucking cult. Point is, I shouldn't push it. Bryce Young got benched. He was terrible. Again, C.J. Stroud's fault. Not only was C.J. Stroud great, but he was picked right behind Bryce Young. And it was it's 100% the Panthers' fault, Tapper's fault, the owner's fault, because he's the one who said everyone wanted Stroud. He's like, nah, let's take Bryce Young. Let's take this 5'10" Bryce Young. I'm not saying Bryce Young will be bad. Who knows? But it's not looking good for him. It's amazing how people are bending over backwards to give excuses for him, though. Like ESPN and all this. It's like, Carolina gave him a disservice. He had 3 head coaches while he was there for a year. Yeah, why do you think he had 3 head coaches? Because he was awful and you couldn't fire him. Frank Reich wasn't the problem. Bryce Young was the problem. He was terrible. Did they have a bad O-line and no weapons? Okay, we're going to see when Andy Dalton gets in there. When he played last year, that one game at Seattle, they were good. They put up points, like 27 points, and the offense worked. It's not a crime to say that Bryce Young's just not ready. It's okay to not be ready. The real problem is, if we want to get sports talky, if we want to play some classic rock sports talky, that's what I love in class, sports talk radio to plays like the boys are back in town, whatever. The real thing is, because quarterbacks get paid $1 billion as soon as they have that next contract after the rookie contract, and it decimates a team's payroll, there's pressure to win while your quarterback's under a rookie contract, while he's making minimum wage, like the Niners with Brock Purdy right now, because they're going to have to sign Brock Purdy to a big contract soon. So you don't have time to sit your rotten quarterbacks anymore, because eventually they're going to make money and they're going to have 80% of your roster's fucking salary cap. So there's no time for Bryce Young to develop. And he's terrible. So I don't think it was a controversial move to bench the worst quarterback in football. Now, are the Panthers bad? Yes, they're bad. They are. Are they going to look better with I mean, just the whole team is just happy that Dalton's in there. And this is a perfect game to go to at Vegas. The Raiders, who are also not a good team, shouldn't be laying 5. They were laying 7. This shows you how bad Bryce Young is. They were laying 7, and then the news came out that he was benched. It went down to 5. That's not good. Hey, Bryce, I don't know if you know how point spreads work, but it got better for your team as soon as they decided you weren't going to play. Yeah. The Vegas things, it's much better when you are nowhere near the field for your team. So I don't know if that's a good value thing for you in your negotiations. But point is, line's down to 5. Raiders, who are not a good team. Antonio Pierce, I love him, but he's not a good coach. They just pulled off a huge upset in Baltimore with Baltimore messing around, playing with their food. He got Minshew. He Minshew'd everybody, that damn Minshew. This is a perfect letdown spot to come back home against a team that they're in a huge favorite spot, laying 5 at home. Give me Carolina. Give me Andy Dalton. I don't care. 0-2. It's time for desperation. Fire up the Red Rocket. Or the Panthers are really just going to blow up their entire season and fucking get some hookers and DUIs in Las Vegas. Who knows what happens when you go out to Vegas? Well, if only there's a saying about things staying out there. All right, now let's get to the road to 10 million. I'm just going to hit a random sound bite for that one. Oh, that's a slot.
How's a slot?
That's for slot machines. Road to 10 million? No. That's just for the other bombs.
Thank you for.
No, none of that.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is more Vegas. Yeah. Ooh. No. What if Andy Dalton just went on a Vegas coke bender? That would come out of nowhere, right? Just couldn't handle getting thrown back into football. Well, I thought I was done with football. I thought I was just going to hold a clipboard for the rest of mine and can cash a check. Now they want me to play in Vegas. I can't handle the pressure. Anyway, let's get to the road to 10 million.
700 billion and $1,300,000,000,000.
I should play a song. All right, let me flip my clipboard notes around. All right, C-Generates, this is it. Like I said, road to 10 million is narrow. There is only one entry left for a survivor. But the good news is almost 75% or 72%, something like that, of the Circa contest entries, survivor entries, are eliminated. There's less than 4. It started with 12,000 entries. There's less than 4,000 now. And the man in the box is one of them. So we're going to fight on. We're going to keep going. Yes, sir, Ronnie Pasco. He says Cocaine Dalton is better than Cocaine Bear. I love Cocaine Dalton. Andy Dalton looks like someone you get caught in the bathroom doing coke with. That fuck. And then you'd freak out. Some redhead just talking about the government. Let's see. I need some kind of theme song. What can I change it up every time. Let's see. What is the... Was Pink Cadillac is a good one? This is dead air, but I don't mind. This is a good road song. This is a good road song. This is Joe Hill off the 45. Don't come after me, you two. It's about driving. There's so many road songs. Holiday Road's a good one, Ronnie Pasco. You're right. Yeah. Why am I picking out songs? I got DJ Ron Pasco as part of the C-Generates. But I think you're right. Maybe I'll fire up Holiday Road for the road to 10 million. Hey, listen, I just hope the road to 10 million lasts another week. We got to add some content. I put out a lot of good road to 10 million videos this week. And if you follow me, On Instagram at CJ Sullivan was taken _ between its words, or on X at CJ Sullivan _ you'll see all those great bloopers and road takes. Fantastic. All right, let me turn it. I even did one with the last one had Ryan and Sean in it. Oh, they're in their highfalutin ways. Took down the CEOs a little bit. Anyway, all right, let's get into Survivor. There's a couple games we could choose from. I already told you why a lot of people like Cleveland, because you're not going to use Cleveland, but I told you. I don't want to go against 0-2 teams. I'm sticking with the 0-2 team theme. So we're going to go with the biggest spread. It's on Monday night. 0-2 Cincinnati Bengals versus the 1-1 Washington Commanders. We're taking the Bengals. What's the reasoning? They're 0-2. They're at home. It's Monday night. If they lose to Washington, they lose to Washington. Then I'm out. Road to 10 million's over with. Wrecked it. We're Thelma and Louise right off a cliff. There's nothing you can do about it. If the Bengals take out Survivors 2 out of 3 weeks, then God, shame on us for fucking believing in them. They can't lose this game. This is what the Bengals do every year. They go 0-2, then they win the third game, and then they start and they can make the playoffs. Unless Burrow gets hurt. Burrow looked good last week. They should have beat the Chiefs. They absolutely should have beat the Chiefs. That fumble 6 was ridiculous. Everything about it. Missed extra point, but, the Chiefs do what they do. They do a Houdini act. But they look good. Them going to Kansas City, playing like that, proves that they're still the Bengals, that week 1 was the outlier. How funny was that? It's so hilarious, like, the personalities. They're asked Joe Burrow about his body language because of his hair dyeing. And there's video of him afterwards, and he only gave a 5-second handshake to Mahomes. Like, how come your hug wasn't longer with Mahomes? Huh? Was there? How come you didn't hug him longer? What's going on there? Are you two okay? Everything's fucking Real Housewives and like reality show. Bro's like, we talked before the game. I don't know. I just lost. But yes, I have respect for Mahomes. Are you sure? I don't know. It didn't look like it. Have you called him? Have you texted Mahomes? What did he say about it? What did he say to you? What did he say to you? Are you mic'd up? Did you turn your mic off? Tell us what you guys said. Why won't you say what you said? We know what you said to Chris Jones. You said, always fun. We already with that. We said, always fun to Chris Jones. What did Spagnola say to you? What did Spag say? I don't fucking know. Why do you guys care? We care because we don't know how to write about football. We only like personalities. Anyway, Cincinnati Bengals, road to 10 million. Let's do it. Perfect. Bomb. Now, let's get to the box. All right. Thank you, C. Jennings, for being a part of the show. We got the Circa 5 contest. Hopefully, we'll get last place. No, or we won't, or we'll turn it around. There's plenty of time to turn it around. So, those are winners. I want to win. I'm trying to win. And I like the 0-2 theory. I really do. We have Thursday night game. We have the Survivor. That's the most important thing we got to keep going on. Like I said, follow me on Instagram. See just almost taken on X _ I'm in North Carolina in October, 1st through the 6th. Charlotte, Asheville, Nashville, Washville, all the vills. This Saturday, if you're in Los Angeles, I'll be in Burbank doing the Avatar 2 show. Information on Burbank Saturday night is on my Instagram page. I have to update my website. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And I'll put the North Carolina dates on there. I already did say them, didn't I? Anyway. All right. I promise to talk about ESPN here in the box, and I will. Couple things with ESPN. They take themselves so effing serious. Like I said, avoid ESPN unless they're showing a game. If they're talking about things all week, they're just making up content. Today was a perfect example of them making up their own story and then talking about it like it's a real thing. Mel Kiper was on there saying His take was that the deep two safeties should be banned as defense because it's not allowing teams to throw the ball deep. Now, I don't believe Mel Kiper believes this for a second. I believe ESPN just decided, okay, someone's going to have this take, and then we're going to talk about this take all day, and it's going to be controversial. They're creating their own content. They made up the story, then they talked about the story just so they have something to talk about. So they bring out Kiper, who's not on any of the shows except for draft time. I'm like, hey, why the fuck are they even talking to Mel Kiper right now? He's only around for draft days. So he's a patsy. He's Lee Harvey Oswald. Here, Kiper, read this. What's this say? It says you don't think they should be 11 guys on the field on defense. What? Yeah, just say it. This is what you believe. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't believe you should run 2 deep safeties. Then everyone's like, what? That's crazy. Have you ever heard of such a thing? And you have Dan Orlovsky and all the other ESPN personalities tweeting out their things, why you could be able to run against it. Yeah, I know. Yes, it is a dumb take, but they wrote it. You don't get to say the thing and then criticize it and act like it's a story. It's your story. That's why I hate ESPN. And good for them, but now it's engagement, and they're all just sharing things around. It reminds me of the politicians, I'm not really going off on a box, but where like you think they're your friends or your enemies. They're not even enemies. They're Republicans and Democrats. They all go play softball together. Fox and ESPN, they just pass around their takes. Here, we'll make up this stupid take. You can comment on it, then we'll make fun of one of your stupid takes. And they just pass each other fucking content. It's insane. Lane Gretzky says ESPN media has all but ruined the NBA for me. That's another one, Lane Gretzky. And yesterday, the big story was Wojciechowski resigning or quitting. Greg Wojciechowski and the Woj bombs. And I like Wojciechowski. But dear God, when they talked about him sending off, first of all, he only worked for ESPN for a couple of years. He made his merit there at Yahoo. And that was actually the great thing about Woj, that he didn't work for ESPN, but yet he was still respected as the #1 NBA beat writer. First of all, I don't like what reporting has become with that, where it's only like 2 or 3 people that break stories and not everyone, like not local reporters. Now it's just like, that's it. Woj broke it or Shams broke it. And it's just a battle between these two. Who's going to break the story? First of all, we don't care who breaks the fucking story. Just get it right. But yeah, Woj is great at it. But they talk about him. And listen, I like Woj. But they talk about themselves. ESPN, like, he just wanted to get his life back, man. Like Adam Schefter. There's only 6 or 7 people in the world that know what this job is like. He didn't want to go in the shower with a phone on his ear. What are you talking about? Stop taking yourself so seriously. You're talking about a fucking contract for a small forward for the Hornets. It's not that serious. Who breaks the story of who was the guy today for the Cavs they signed? I mean, like, it's just a joke how much weight Zion lost. Now he can have his life back and go to St. Bonaventure. Woj Bobs. Oh my God, he can see his family. See his family. He's reporting on NBA free agency. He's not going off to war. He's not out and he's not doing tours in Afghanistan. Oh, he hasn't seen his children in 12 years because he had to find out where he had to find out where Larry Nance Jr. was signing. He had to get on a DeMarcus DeRozan trade buzz group chat with a couple GMs. He hasn't seen his wife in 17 years. She ran off with another man. Finally, Woj can get his life back. Oh, my God. Calm down, ESPN. Yes, you're the biggest thing in sports. You're also what ruins it. Anyway. Oh, I'm really getting exhausted. That's it for me in the box. everyone who joined the chat room. Lane Gretzky, Ronnie Pasco, Stevie Elridge. Shout out to him. He gave me a very great heads up. About my other podcast, The Blackout Diaries, which I suggest everyone subscribe and listen to. It's a drinking comedy show with me and my buddy Sean Flannery, a hilarious comedian in Chicago. We actually put out a college football episode today with Colby Dant telling a story on there. Now, we had a little technical mishap this morning, and Steve Elridge pointed it out to me. I should give him a thank you for that because we got to fix it right away. I hope you re-downloaded it, Steve. It's up there properly now, the correct files and all that. But yeah, Picks Dundee, Colby Dant tells his story about when he got kicked out of the UCLA LSU game at the Rose Bowl on the latest Blackout Diaries episode. So check that out anywhere pods are found and subscribe to that. It's great. You will be proud of it. Proud of it? What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Do I? Do I know what I'm saying? Do you guys deserve better? Maybe. But
time nor the inclination. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I would rather you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
oh man, that's just becoming my mantra now for this show. As my picks go down, down, down. All right, thank you everybody. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the weekend. Fuck you, CJ. Why are you telling me that? You guys are great. All right. See you on Monday. Let's get some bombs in there. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Stay tuned for me on the prop show with Sean and Ryan, and then Picks Dundee afterwards. Got a whole C block. This is just the beginning.